Well, today's video is going to be a little bit of an interesting one for the most part. I know a lot of you are going to probably get mad at me again over this, or just flat out not care about what I have to say about this. But today's video is going to be about my problem with Yakumo for the most part, and how his character plays. I'm not a big fan of how he plays. He's a big ol' not NG character doing NG stuff. And again, like, let me explain this. Because I like the character. I really do. I just think he doesn't do enough. And here's the problem. And good thing is he has the dragon sword, so I don't have to switch to Ryu to showcase this. But look at this. Square, triangle. That's standard, right? If you have Ryu, square, triangle is a launcher. Right? Square, square, triangle. That's it. Square, square, triangle. I can go down with one of the worst heavy attacks ever in any game. I can't cancel that. Look, look, look. Listen to the buttons I'm pressing, which is going to be dodged, right? Watch this. That's when I can dodge, when he completely lands. What the hell is that, right? Look at this. Cancel. 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 That's a little bit longer because it's double hit, right? And then you have this. What in the hell is that? What in the hell is that? It's bad. You might think that's nitpicky, but let's go into the rest of it. And this is going to cover all his weapons. But I'm going to start one by one. We're going to go down, right? Square, 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 triangle. It's another launcher, right? Same thing here, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, launcher. But you go 1, 2, 3, triangle, triangle, triangle. Right? You have all that. But with Yakumo doing one launcher, there's also all that. 1, 2, 3. Stop that. 1, 2, 3. Okay. I need you to not be a dickhead, and let me showcase this in a video. Passive, stationary. So watch this. 1, 2, 3, up. That's all you get, right? 1, 2, 3, triangle. And you just go back down. That's all you get. That's all your extensions. That is literally all you get. At the side of the screen, you can see all the combos that pop up, right? At the left side. 1, 2, 3, triangle, and back down again. That's all I get. 1, 2, 3, square, and that's it. 1, 2, 3, square, triangle. You get a Izuna. It's not even a unique Izuna. But to be fair, nobody has a unique Izuna in this game. Right? And 1, 2, 3, 4. It's just a knockback, right? He has a insane problem that despite him having 4 weapons, it still barely matches up and surpasses the Dark Dragon Sword, which is 1 weapon. Ignoring the fact that the damage output of this thing is just insane, but the pure simple fact that, look at this. It's your launcher. It's Ninja Gaiden's thing. Like, you do that. I'm sad that forward launchers are not back, but still. But watch this. Square, square. Triangle. 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 Extension. That's a string. That is an actual proper string. Right? That is a string extension. This is not a string extension. That's just the string. You don't get anything off this. You just go into a straight up generic air movement. So square, square, triangle just puts you backwards. This is worthless, by the way. That's absolutely and utterly worthless ability to have. It doesn't do anything. You can go for this, right? But like, I can do flying swallow from anywhere. I don't need to do 2 strings to go back into it, right? Yeah, sure, you can do that and like do all sorts of crazy shit with it afterwards, but it's still a fake string. 1, 2, boom, 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 right? And he can hold for other stuff. Yakumo doesn't have holds. It's like, that's it. That's it. That's all you get. It's like his holds are really. It's just him holding this. No knockback, no comp, nothing. You get nothing after this. You get nothing after this either. To be quite fair, right? And this is a problem with NG4, it's that your extensions off of hold are gone completely. And that really does suck a little bit. But his main sword, his arguably best weapon when it comes to just feeling like NG, is not great. A lot of his stuff is just covered up by the fact that, hey, I have cool blood whip. That's it. There's no just frame mechanics to this. You just hold it. There's literally no depth. Right? There's nothing to it. And the biggest part and the biggest issue I have with him, his back forward, just a generic stinger. His back forward heavy. Why couldn't fucking this just be his normal heavy in the air? Why do I have to sit there forever and just do that? You can't gleam cancel either, by the way. There's no gleam cancel to it. I'm holding gleam right now. You can't cancel it. Or blood raven in his case. So his back forward triangle is worthless. It's a knockback, but like, hello? I can just do that. Worthless properties. That's Yakumo's whole problem, that he has worthless properties. I don't need 2 launchers when I already have 1 less string extension in my thing. So if you look with the dragon sword, square heavy, square square heavy, square 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 heavy, square 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 heavy. So that's 4 different string extension, and your 5th one is your actual square ender, which is horrible. I will never recommend you do that because it has a long recovery. But anyways, that's aside the point. He already only has 4 squares. Like, that's it. And his last one, it's his DPS quote-unquote option that knocks back, right? You have 2 launchers. You have 1 knockback, which is that, which is worthless. You have another launcher for some reason, and you have a pointless DPS. The recovery for that is horrible. You cannot do anything. You're stuck in that. Watch this now. The DPS option for this, you can dodge out of it. Very fast. You can cancel any of those extension strings. And you see how many buttons are there? There's 6 button inputs. He's missing strings. He's missing so much. 2 of his weapons, I would argue 3 of his weapons, if you don't consider Takamitakara, are equal to 1 dragon sword. Because you know what? Back forward square, 1 stinger. Back forward square with the dragon sword, a whole different string extension that goes into a launcher. Right? Back forward triangle, whole different string extension that goes into a launcher. Different speed, different strokes, different variations. So with this one, you appear behind them. So if they're blocking you, if you're doing this, you're behind them. You hit them regardless. 3 hits and they're in the air. With this one, 2 hits, they're in the air. 1, 2, 3. The 3rd one takes them in the air. With this one is like 1, 2, 3, then you go in the air. See, the property fucking changes here. Dragon Sword makes sense. Dragon Sword actually does things it's supposed to do. I wish the Izuna drop was different for all of these. Like, I wish this was his slam down, and this was Underworld drop. And this gives you extensions, right? The good thing with the triangle one, it takes longer to go in the air, but it gives you extensions if you want it. You can do all that. And this is how Yakumo masks his complete incapability of having stuff. He doesn't. He has a weapon switch. And that's how he masks his lack of tools. That's how he masks it. Because he can do all this cool stuff. In the sense of, oh, I'm just changing weapons. I'm literally just 1, 2, change. 1, 2, change. 1, 3, change. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. You're just changing weapons. There's not really too much depth to it either. I know a lot of people got critical of me. It's like, oh, you don't play Yakumo. You don't know how to utilize his depth. And let me tell you this. I'm going to sound a little bit, full of myself here, but I can log on to this game. No practice. No startup. Nothing. And no damage any boss. No damage any stage. I can do anything I want with any character, right? You probably can't say the same. So to tell me that I don't know what I'm talking about when I'm talking about Yakumo, a little bit ignorant on your end. And some people have done this. Considering that usually the people that tell me that skill issue, quote unquote, on my end, don't even have any evidence to back it up. They don't have any videos on their channel. They've never uploaded a clip in their fucking life about doing anything. So if you want to tell me there's a skill issue on my end, please take those into consideration. Now back to Yakumo. This is the one thing that it really gets on my nerve with this character. So remember when Square Triangle was a launcher, and with the Dragon Sword, Square Launcher is a launcher. Square Triangle is a launcher. Now watch this. That's it. That's all the extension you get, by the way. Not even a hold. You can't even hold at the end of that. What does that accomplish? What does this do exactly? Nothing. It's not a DPS input. It's not. It doesn't knock them back. It doesn't knock them down. It doesn't guard break. It doesn't do anything. He just does nothing with that. And now, oh, we're on the second weapon, square, triangle. Oh, that's the launcher because it's the second weapon. Cool. So that one is the first triangle heavy. And now we go to 1, 2, 3. What does that do? What does this string accomplish? Fucking nothing. 1, 2, 3. I'm out. Oh, back in. Oh, so it's not a disengage. It's not a disengage move like this. This one, 1, 2, 3. Oh, I'm completely out and I can no. This 1, 2, 3. I'm back in. I can't cancel it. I go back in. His fourth one is the only one. He has only one unique string with this one. 1, 2, 3, 4. And you can mash this for a little bit of a million stab. And it knocks back. It knocks the enemy back. And you don't even have to go through the whole thing. You can just do that. That was the wrong input, sorry. You can just do triangle without mashing it to knock him back, right? This does nothing. 3 does nothing because it doesn't even reposition me like this move does. It forces me to go back in. It's fucking worthless. The whole problem I have with this character is that besides this weapon, his whole toolkit is just a mishmash of worthless shit. I don't like using Yakumo, not because I don't like the character. I love him. I really like his character. Like, yeah, sure, his story was ass, and his character development was extremely rushed in the sense of, like, he gets extremely devoted to Sayori really fast, but I'm not talking about that. I'm talking strictly combat, and I love how he looks. I love how he carries himself as a young, very, very full of himself person. And, like, that fits to someone his age. But his toolkit is the reason why you don't see me upload too many Yakumo videos. It's because his character is just a bag of air. He lays. Yakumo is lays, right? He is a 30 centimeter long bag with only 5 centimeters inside of it full of chips, and the rest of it is just hot air. That's it. Now, let's expand more. And okay, before you lose your shit, I will tackle this. Because this is where he shines. I'll tackle this last. I like to get rid of the bad stuff first so I can leave on a good note. And this is the good notes on him. The good notes are these. That's not yours. Put that down. Anyways, so we already established that the fucking drill is useless. It has one good thing. Your heavy is actually a launcher. And it's a 2-hit launcher. So that's good, because since you don't have this, it's a 2-hit launcher. This light really is annoying. So you do 2 heavy and you're in the air. And then comes the other issue. Remember when 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, Izuna. Right? And then you have 1, 2, 3, 1, Izuna. It's really tight input for that too, by the way, unless you're mashing. Now watch this. Launcher, 1 heavy. Oh, knockdown. At least he has a property, but why is my Izuna drop that has been the same input on 9 fucking weapons across every installment of this game on a different command string now? Well, my launcher is already different. Now I have to do square, square, triangle. Not square, 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 triangle. Not square, triangle. I have to do square, square, triangle. I know, it's minor. I can adapt. Not the issue. The issue is, why does every weapon have a different fucking input for this? Katsumi Nakata. The launcher is correct. There's a reason why these 2 weapons are my favorite weapons and you'll only see me use these 2. It's because they feel correct. They feel Ninja Gaiden. They feel like they're going by the flow of the game. Square, triangle. I'm in the air. What the hell just happened? I pressed square, triangle. So that wasn't the end there. So square, 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 triangle. Oh no, that's just a generic land down. So why did we fuck this up? 1, 2. And we're doing this again. We're doing this nonsense again. But here's a good thing with it. At least these two weapons kind of match. 1, 2, 3, launcher. 1. Oh, you gotta press 2 with this one. Oh shit. Why are we changing it so much? 1, 2, 3. 1 heavy and Izuna. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2 Izuna. Why? Why? Just why? There's not a single good explanation to why every weapon hits differently. Now watch this. Remember when this was 1 heavy or light heavy launcher? This one is light heavy launcher, and this one is light heavy launcher. And guess what? Same thing in the air. 1, 2, 3. You gotta do 1, 2, 3, and then Izuna. At least that one makes sense, because usually it is 1, 2, 3 heavy Izuna. Right? That makes sense. But then we change it up with every single weapon. Now let's take it, you know, take it properly. I already talked about the 4 out of the 6 strings this weapon has is worthless. Now, the back forward. Back forward is the one that gives you this property, right? So, why is my back forward a dash in here, but it's a backup here? It's still a stinger, but it backs you up. So, again, this is where it pisses me off, because usually when you do a stinger input is because you want to get in and stay there. I'm in there now. You have to deal with me, right? Oh, wait. It's set distance. That's fucking horrible, because I want to close distance there. Now with Ninja Gaiden, usually you either do this or you just, you know, that you can't control your movement. The moves don't control you, even though in this game they kind of do. Like look how far he travels. 3 moves and I'm already in there. Just go on this yellow line. 1, 2, 3. My 4th one is already there. You know how ridiculous that is? Even with the Dragon Sword. It travels you a lot. I don't mind this. I know a lot of NG veterans don't like the fact that moves kind of carry you to the enemy. Like the magnetism is insane. I don't mind that because it makes it a little bit more consistent. It does create issues sometimes, but it adds more consistency than issues. If anything, it takes care of some issues in the previous game. So I'm okay with this. But then I come across the problem with this. If you're so like forceful on magnetism, why the fuck is the set distance? So if you do a back forward here, it's actually bad for you. You now put yourself out of distance, right? You're out now. But here is good, so you can probably mash it back and forth. Oh wait, you can't. There's an insane cooldown, and it's a kind of an awkward button to press over and over again. Right? Fighting game player, so it's probably not an issue for me, but still it is an awkward button to input for a move that you might need to do twice to get the thing you wanted to achieve in the first place, which is I want to close distance with my stinger move. And back forward, it just does the opposite. You made it in. Oh, now we're out. And you don't even travel that much either. The move is worthless. You can do stuff like that, sure, but like, to what end? Now let's go to the back forward triangle. Why? What's the point of this? See, that's good. Launcher. That's a launcher. This is amazing because if you've noticed, we don't have the back forward triangle or forward triangle or heavy triangle launcher with any of the other weapons. So the fact that this has a actual natural launcher with with a back forward triangle, which every weapon should have had, even the Dark Dragon Sword. As much as I love this string, not that one. As much as I love that string, I feel like my forward launcher, in this case back forward launcher, which you have in every other game, should have been there. Actually, I'm not sure if one had it, but it's not there anymore. But this weapon has a thing for it. You get your forward launcher, the easy launcher. Problem becomes that it's on the most easy to access launcher weapon. Triangle, triangle. I'm in the air. Square, square, triangle. I'm in the air. It has the shortest strings to go in the air. This one also has it. And I haven't tackled the 360 motions. They do, thankfully, the 360 motions do what they're supposed to do. It's just hit everything around you. Problem is, it's supposed to be a hit everything away from me type of thing, right? But this is the square one. It focuses on one enemy with the 2 kicks, and then does a 360 to hit everything around you. This, however, does what it's supposed to do. 360 knockback. I know it doesn't look like a knockback because it's against the wall, but yeah, 360 triangle knockback. You know, the 360 gets you off of them. In 3 and 2, you could hold it for a launcher, but again, we don't have that capability, sadly. And no, Gleam doesn't do it either. Gleam just turns it into a knockback again. With iframes, though. This move gives you full iframes after you initiate it, so it's good. But again, let's not get into Gleam and Blood Raven just yet. We're talking about the base weapons. It does what it does. The distance, the space you create is nuts, but it's not an issue. You can absolutely close it. I don't know why he didn't fucking track there, but you can absolutely close it, so it's fine. The 360s are the best thing about Yakumo's like tools kit. With this, however, different deal. So you remember when 360 square with this was just extension? With this becomes a knockback, which is what the heavy does usually. And your heavy 360 becomes your I'm just gonna hit you and get out. It's pretty much Yoshimitsu's sidekicks. It just moves you behind the enemy, which again, if they're blocking, it can be helpful, but it's a set distance. It's not always going behind them. Get the fuck out of the corner, please. Right? It's not always going behind them. If you hit them from the side, you end up on their side. You just change sides practically. So it goes 180, right? Again, they've done this weird thing where the one that doesn't knock back, so on this one it's square. Square doesn't knock back, triangle knocks back. And this one, square knocks back, triangle doesn't knock back. This is why I have a problem with it. Everything is randomized on his weapons. Not randomized, but it's like they're deliberately on a different segments of his strings, of his inputs. Everything's weird on him. Nothing is consistent on him across his weapons. Which you could say, like, hey, that's good. That means the weapons are different. And they take a different route. Except that they're not. They're not really different. They're not doing anything different. As you might have paid attention, you got your launcher, you got your knockback, and you got your I'm getting out. Right? And for some reasons, some weapons have 2 launchers. And this one is the same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is your knockback. This is your launcher. This is fucking worthless. And this is your knockback for the square 360. And with this one, I'm messing it up. And this is my get out. And everything's on a different thing. But it's always the same 3 properties. This doesn't do anything, so this does not count as a property. This is not a property. That is, but this is not a property. That's just a hit stun. Every hit does that. See? Every hit does that. So that's not a property. Your properties are launcher. Right? You have that. You have knockback. Which you can achieve with your final square anyways. Right? That's a heavy knockback. Kind of like this one. So it's 3 properties spread randomly across different strings and different inputs on his every single weapon. And they all do the same thing. So now let's get to the Lunar. And I love this weapon. 360 is a launcher. Why is it not the back forward? This is not as evasive as you think it is. Like, it looks like, oh, I'm not on the floor anymore. But except that you are. You can cancel out of it when you go in the air, right? But look at this problem. Right? You see that? They're gonna retaliate. you can use it as something good. Like, it is useful. But the problem is you can't really do anything else with it. You cancel it, you back down. It doesn't add too many utilities. You can't flying swallow after it either. So it's like not really useful. Back forward. Now your back forward is giving you a... Was that 360 or back forward? No, I did the back forward. Yeah. Your back forward is giving you a 360 notion, as in that I'm hitting everything around me and I'm knocking down the enemy in front of me. Now your back forward triangle, we already discussed this, that 360 triangle is this. It's doing what 360 triangle does. Right? Across all these weapons, 360 triangle knocks back. Knocks back. Man, knocks back. So that's consistent, but across two of his weapons. Dark Dragon doesn't count. That doesn't belong to him. That's just Ryu's moveset on it. It doesn't count. You're playing Ryu with Yakumo. Pardon me. And the strings fall onto the same thing. Square, triangle, knockdown. We finally have a knockdown move. Square, square, triangle. Oops. Nothing. But he has the extension. See, only one of his weapons has the extension. You see that? The only weapon that actually has string extension is the one that hits a lot, which is good. You know why that's good? Because that's an NG weapon. This is what an NG weapon is supposed to do. Your 360 triangle is supposed to knock back. That's fine. That's new, right? And it gives you a knockdown. It's a new move. 360 square is a new motion in NG. And it gives you a new thing you can do. Oh, not 360, back forward. It gives you a knockdown. Not a lot of weapons give you knockdowns, like heavy knockdowns. In 3, having a knockdown is horrible because Ryu just refuses to target enemies that are heavy knockdown. But in this game, it's good. Because you just build up another opportunity to hit them. Right? And square, 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 triangle becomes your launcher. Square, 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 triangle becomes your Izuna. Which is consistent because you do 1, 2, 3 heavy, 1, 2, 3 heavy. Sure. 1, 2, 3 heavy, you take him up. 1, 2, 3 heavy, you can take him down. This is probably the most balanced and well-designed weapon in his arsenal. Not my favorite still, because I think these two are just too strong. But this weapon is really NG feeling, as you can see. And it gives you the knockback. 1, 2, 3, launcher. 1, 2, 3, 4. Knockdown. This one has string extension, but only one string extension. Only one string extension in 3 weapons so far. Unless you want to count this one. 1, 2, 3, 4. Unless you want to count this one, which is... I guess you can, but it is you just mashing one button for one thing to keep happening over and over again. And again, I'll get to Raven Blood. I get to Blood Raven soon. Don't worry. I think my point has been made. I'm pretty sure, but one more weapon. Let's get through it, right? And this is my favorite weapon for a reason, because I think when they designed Yakumo, this is what they had in mind. I think Yakumo was supposed to be meant with this weapon being his thing. It's just auto does everything for you. You change weapons just with your strings, that's it. I think this is what the plan was for Yakumo. Instead of having weapon switching, they just wanted to make a character that does everything with every button. Property. Projectile knockback. Very cool property. 360 triangle. What is that? Launcher? Nope. Knockdown? Yeah. Cancel? Nope. You can't cancel it. So doing is 360, which is universally supposed to be an AoE knockback. Ends up being a fake launcher knockdown that's single target. Really weird. This makes sense. So these two weapons have something in common. Your 360 square is your knockback. These two weapons have something in common. Your 360 triangle is your knockback. You see the dynamic here? But then the dynamic shatters when you realize, oh, your strings resemble these two instead. Launcher. Light launcher. Strings resemble this, but 360s resemble this way. I don't know why they've made it so random. Why does everything have a different input? Why does every command have a different property? Why does every string have useless things in it? That's your knockback. I like that. It's a fast knockback. Like, get away from me, I want to do something else. And you know why that's good? Because this is a long range weapon, so you want to create space as fast as possible so you can go back to doing that. 1, 2, 3, 4, triangle. What does that accomplish exactly? Nothing. No knockdown, no knockback. It's just a stagger where I can achieve with every other hits of any weapon. And I just wasted time doing all that. That disconnected my string for some reason. Alright, you get the launcher with 3. With 4, you get a stagger. That should knock down. That should absolutely knock down. But instead, you have to do a 360 to get a knockdown in. It's nonsensical. I don't get it. But enough with his strings. Enough with his strings. So, to sum up my problem with this character, is his inconsistency in his weapons. And everything is fluffed up. The only weapon that has an extension, a true extension, is his lunar. Right? Something that the Dragon Sword has been able to do ever since its inception. For 3 games, and then some. For 3 games and 6 games in total with all the Sigma and Black and Razor's Edge versions, this sword's been doing everything that these 4 weapons cannot do all together. That's why whenever I use Yakumo, you only see me use this, and sometimes this. It's because these complete his kit. These 2 are just fun weapons. Because this is mostly useless, and this is mostly too slow. Although if you're going up against sharks, this weapon is unprecedented, best weapon in the game to take care of them. But now, we come to this part, and this is his greatest strength, and this is why Yakumo is so fun to play. It's his Blood Raven form. And the reason why I think Platinum messed up listening to Team Ninja with this, they shouldn't have made Yakumo have a limited resource on using this. Yakumo should have always been able to access this, because this completes him. You know those useless strings, like this? Now you extend it. Like, all of these become complete when you actually implement Blood Raven into the mix. And the funny thing with most Blood Raven moves is, and I'll go through it one by one, they don't have extensions for the most part, but his main sword does. So that one is just your standard DPS combo. This one, launcher, square triangle, launcher, Blood Raven square triangle, launcher, square, triangle, knockdown. He doesn't have a knockdown normally in this weapon, right? He has his out move, which these 2 don't have. And I did the 360. For this, it's a launcher. For this, is a little whatever this accomplishes. It's like a fake stinger. And his back forward triangle is another set distance stinger, which is fucking worthless. But you do that, and this is a move Ryu has with his claws. It's his forward input in 2, and I think it's his also forward input, forward light in 3 as well. So slap. And this one, in this case, it's thrust. So cool. But with Blood Raven, this becomes complete. So 660 Blood Raven is, with square, it's single target multi-hit, which makes sense. And you have iframes after you initiate that pulse. You have iframes. You have built-in parry windows, so they can't hit you. And that's good that they did that, because holy fuck, you will never be able to get this move out. Right? 360 triangle. AoE knockback. And very AoE. Right? Back forward. aerial knockback and a launcher technically, where you can't like cancel it. You're stuck in the whole animation and you have to land after it. Back forward triangle, heavy single target but long range, very long range by the way. Like it hits. I think I was literally a touch off of it, but it is very long range. And again, you have iframes throughout this. See, these make sense. And again, he does have extensions. Single target heavy hit, and he knocks down. Something that his square doesn't do. So when you do square triangle, kind of like Kratos, heavy knockdown. And his square triangle is just a launcher. Now, sadly, he doesn't have a triangle to square thing, but he does have unique triangle moves. And they're all AoE. That's the thing with it. His heavies in this mode are all AoEs. And his charged normals are all single target heavy hits. So it makes sense. Everything fucking made sense in his Blood Raven form. Literally everything made sense in his Blood Raven form. And you also have aerial. Lands you. Lands with you. Sadly, it just goes in, there's no string extension here, it just goes into one thing. And you do that. That's two different moves. Hold, hold. That's actually a string. And you can charge it in the air too. And it's pretty cool that he actually has all this. And you can of course chain it, right? You can do stuff like that. And you can extend it even further. So his Blood Raven makes absolute sense. Single target multi-hit for 360 square. Multi-hit, multi-enemy hit. So you do triple hit AoE knockback on a 360 triangle. That's heavy. If it's charged. And we already talked about this. His squares, his lights are single target. His heavies are AoE. They all hit around him. He's swinging left to right. Or right to left. And his back forwards we already talked about. A safety net, like, hey, I'm gonna get you in the air so I'm safe from the ground and hit you. And it knocks back into the wall. You can do a lot with this. Right? So you can do stuff. That was not very impressive, but yeah. And then, one of my favorite weapons with Blood Raven, and I would argue best weapon with Blood Raven, which is ironic considering the base weapon is quite shit. But his Blood Raven one is insanely good. Multi-hits. There's no input for it. And it just does all that. Knockback for his light combo. I'm really getting sick of you going in corners. Light. Heavy. It's technically a launcher, but not really. Even if you don't charge it, right? If you don't charge it, it's actually a launcher. And you can actually technically go in the air, I think. So I think if you do this... Never mind, it doesn't work. It locks your in, so that's sad. Can you extend it? Nope. You can't extend it at all. You just suck. It doesn't do anything, right? Problem. And you can't even launch. Like in 2, you could do stuff like neutral jump and do air combos, but he doesn't do this in this game. You just do your generic in air, I'm gonna land on the floor move. So you can't extend this. But Stinger, back forward square is his Stinger. And it's pretty cool. You also have these, which I didn't touch upon, but these all give you different properties. White hits. These triangles are white hits with his ninja tools. Right? Which makes sense. And he also has this, which give him different properties. This one is reverse. Your square is your white attack. Your triangle is your single target. And you can't charge these ones. They're always charged up. They're always full power. So with this weapon, you have this one, which is pretty cool, but not really worth using for a, you know, a movement ability. But hey, it's there. And this one is just straight up a launcher. which is pretty sick if you know, if it worked. But that's the problem. It doesn't work. That is the first time I've seen the enemy die like that. See, it works now because you got to connect something. If you do it raw, it just doesn't work sometimes. Sometimes they don't go all the way up, which you saw earlier, but I don't think I can recreate it now. Probably. If you hit him, they always go up all the way. It's a pretty big launcher. See that? Really sick, right? Cool move. But sadly, he doesn't have any like unique extensions to these like his sword does, but he does still have a thing he can do. This one is a 360. You can't hold them, they're always powered up, as I said. That one just thrusts. These are not unique, right? So when you do Blood Raven jump, he has this thrust move, which is pretty big. That time it didn't work. See, again, I think the wall is what's disrupting it. So let's do this here. And it knocks back. Eagle Claw, it's called. Okay, so now he has extensions. Square. The whole triangle ends up being a launcher, knockback. Square, square. Ends up being a very heavy hit, very high staggering move that knocks back. These all make sense. 360, well not 360, but he's they all gather enemies around you in front of you, by the way. That's the whole point of his heavy blood raven moves. And the last one is the only one that knocks back. Sadly, again, no extension from heavy to light. Just doesn't work, but that's that. And in the air, you also have and you bring him to the ground, knock back. Lights, and you don't have any extensions. He just does his air heavy, sadly. Even if you do two, it still does just, you know, slam down, thrust down. But these all make sense to an extent. He does have the one useless one, but watch these now. Single 360 is single target multi-hit. Single target multi-hit. You see? These properties make fucking sense. They're all doing the same thing they're supposed to do. .360 triangle. Exactly what it's supposed to do. Multi-hit, AoE, knockback. And you hold the button down and he just keeps going. It makes sense. His back forward triangle. Launcher. See, if you want to launch, you do that. Oh, that was not the right one, sorry. It's a clothesline too. So if you're like this far away, back forward, you go in and then you up in the air with me. Boom. And you know what's the beautiful part about this? Back forward triangle, launcher in here, back forward triangle, launcher normal. It makes sense. You're getting an enhanced version of what you already do in your base form. We already talked about the stinger, and this is controllable, by the way, which is really funny. You can just decide to go into a whole different direction. I'll argue like that's even better than this, but this is just way cooler. So, weapon in Blood Raven makes absolute sense. Normal, his normal forms, they do not fucking make sense. Now, this one is a little bit more unique. So with these two, you just hold the button down and you get the most powerful version of it back out, right? I'm just holding it, I'm doing nothing special. With the hammer and this one, there's a timing to it. It's when you see the blood pulse, you have to press the button again. Or let go of the button. See, like, if you hold it, nothing happens. You have to let go at the right time. And the extra hit comes out. That's the cool thing with the hammer. If you actually just frame the moves, a lot more cool stuff happens. You get all that. And they also have extensions. A lot of extensions too, I should add. So let's get to the launcher. I got the 360. 1, 2, You see that? Cool extensions because you just frame it. No extension from that, but watch this. So if I do one heavy launcher, something that the base weapon doesn't have. 1, 2, 3, and then I get my launcher. Unless I do 360 square, I get a launcher. 1, 2. And you get all that. The properties make sense. Heavy knockdown into a knockback is pretty cool because you just frame it. So if you don't just frame these, you just get the generic knockdown. But if you just frame, you're extra safe. Knocks down and then knocks back. So they're fucked. They're extremely away from you. So let's go through his 360s. 360 square. Nothing happens if you hold it. Okay, it's a little harder than I thought. Ends up being the launcher. And if you remember, his 360 square, launcher. So it makes sense. All that makes sense because 360 square, I launch. 360 Blood Raven square, I launch if I don't fuck it up, which I am doing a lot. Boom. Has a pretty good range too. Back forward square. Single target. Well, it doesn't look single target because it's a big weapon, but yeah, it's mostly focused on a one enemy. Multi-hit. With this one, it's usually the 360 one. But you see, it's diagonal slashing, kind of exactly like that. That's 360, sorry. Exactly the same animation. And same with this. Back forward for this one is just stinger, because it's a drill, so it makes sense. But your 360 does that. Single target, multi-hit, spinny bullshit. They're all pretty much the same thing. Now, back forward heavy. Multi-hit normally. Ends up being a knockdown. Which is pretty cool. And it does heavy damage, and those blasts are all AoE. So everything you do when you're heavy is AoE. Exactly like this. And exactly like this. See, he spins. He spins. And then he spins. I might as well just made like a moveset video considering I'm actually talking about everything. This video is going to be an hour long, I apologize, but like initially, again, as I said, it was going to be the bad stuff, so if you get through that, you're going to see why Yakumo shines, and he's such a cool, awesome character. Now, those two aside, now watch this stuff. That's super cool. There's no charge to this, obviously. You don't have to just frame it, you don't have to hold it. It just does it. It's awesome. But it doesn't fucking work. It just doesn't fucking work, sadly. It's a cool move. It's meant to be used for AoE. But if you don't do it when you're fully all the way up, you get the normal heavy, which is whatever. Now it's triangle though. Awesome. And that's AoE. No just frame needed. You get the properties of this in just 2 button inputs. This is not as impressive. But at least this one works, right? Knock down, knock back. Heavy is knocked down. Light is knocked back. Makes sense. Same thing here. Up, knock back, AoE, because it's your heavy hit, right? With this one, knock. Well, it's supposed to be a knockdown, but it doesn't knock down, but it just slams you down. Single target. Knockback heavy, 360 move. It hits everybody. These make sense. They also have projectiles. Projectiles don't have properties, they just hit multiple times. That's it. The good thing with the projectiles, they all have unique properties. This one, light hit but wide area. This one is single one, but it hits multiple times if you charge it. And this one is just... you send out blood to them. But it knocks back. See, like these don't knock back. Even the last one doesn't knock back. That just staggers and stuns. This knocks back. So extreme property. This one is way more unique. And we're gonna segue into it because I did cover everything in this one. Now, the reason why this is my favorite weapon is simply because of the Blood Raven mode. The Blood Raven mode in this weapon is arguably one of the best weapons in Ninja Gaiden's history. Look at just the range. The range attack sets up a trap and a homer. That thing is a trap. And if you do the Just Frame version, you send out 2 more. And one of them seeks if they get too close. Which is awesome. Everything works with it. Okay, if I don't throw them off the thing. You see? You see how cool that is? You see how cool that is? You just trap them into it, everything falls apart, like to pieces. It's awesome. That's just a projectile attack for this thing. The range attack, the normal attack for this. If you normally hold it, and again, nothing happens. But if you just frame it, you get the bombs, which is insanely strong. That's the whole thing. Release right timing. But the extensions, though. See how cool that is? Do you see how cool this weapon is? Yeah, it actually has something that everything is missing minus this one, which is string extensions. You actually get an extension and not just a single hit. So with this one, it becomes a launcher. So you square, triangle, ends up being a launcher. Becomes a knockback. And I think you see that the things you can do with this weapon are insane. That's why I think Yakumo is supposed to just have this weapon doing everything for him. I gotta get this guy in the corner. Like, these are awesome, and if you do it in the air, it's even better. I gotta get a launcher first, hold up. And even in the air, every extension is different. That knocks back. It's the weapon just has insane potential. Now let's go to the 360s and back forward. It's a back up, I'm out of there, with range, and if you just frame it, you get extra backflip. With the bombs, and you see it with the direction the bomb's going to? It's a wide one. But normally it's just a cluster, but when you do the back forward here, it's a wide one. So it makes sure anything that's coming at you straight up is gonna get hit by that and gets knocked back. This weapon is all about making space and giving you all the room you want to do this. So it's a synergy with itself is amazing. 360. Boom. It's a buy-in, which is unique. No other weapon has a thing like that. Hits AoE, brings everybody close, and if you just frame it, boom, you blow everybody up. And if you're in Berserk mode, this kills everything. 360 triangle. Ends up being a double-purpose launcher. Spin, 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 just frame, boom, aerial launcher. Extra time for you to breathe. Back forward. Like, it's super good. Back forward. Prop shredder. Ends up being a launcher. You see the cool thing with this? Your forward inputs in the older engines were always a launcher. So with this one, not that one, sorry. With the, I think it was this one. Yeah, but anyways, it's supposed to launch, right? And it does its job, regardless if you charge it or not. And that's the cool thing with this weapon. It can do so much. It synergizes. Everything with it makes sense. That's why it's so good. But yeah, to not make this an hour-long video, Yakumo is heavily fluffed up by how fake his base kit is and how amazing his Blood Raven is. So I think if Team Ninja is going to make this character stand out a little bit more, allow him to use Blood Raven all the time. Like, build in these into his normal strings. Like, if I do like square, triangle, 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 it turns into like this. If I switch to my heavy strings, mid-light strings, they just do Blood Raven stuff. So if I do like square, square, it turns out to be this instead. This is how the character should be. The Blood Raven should be built into his base kit. And if you do Blood Raven, it just powers up all these moves. And they come out instantly instead of you needing to charge them. But that's just my opinion on it. I do think Yakumo is really fake in his toolkit. He still has a lot going on for him, but most of it is misguided, misplaced, and very random. So a little bit of consistency in this character would do it a lot good. I still love him. I just don't think he plays good, especially in a Ninja Gaiden game. He doesn't even play good as a Platinum game character, in my opinion. Because even with Bayonetta, even with Raiden, whatever you want to call him, even with Jetstream Sam, their kits were similar because they made sense with the sequence you press the buttons in. This game, Yakumo does not. Everything is different. And that's my problem with him, is that he's too spread out. His consistency is questionable. You can absolutely remember all this stuff. You can absolutely get used to it. That's not the problem. The problem is that he's just feels awkward to play. And they could eliminate that just by making him consistent. Just take away the awkwardness from him. That's all I'm asking. Like, he's not a bad character. He's not even like a bad combat character. He just needs to be less awkward to play. But that being said, favorite weapon, absolutely this, because it's just the synergy is insane with it. You know, it's just a fucking awesome weapon. But aside from that, I've rambled on for an hour straight. So I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I hope you guys will keep an open mind and listen to everything I've said, in the sense of, like, I'm not trying to hate on the character. I'm just trying to make him be better and more consistent and way more fun, because he already is all those things, just to a lesser degree. His competition is Ryu, and he can hold that sword, but he can never be Ryu unless he gets his shit together with his own toolkit. So with that said, I'll do more Yakumo covered videos when my favorite weapon comes out, which will be the site. Until then, take care of yourself, stay healthy, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.